Do you want to know the quality of your sleep every night? Have you ever wondered whether the device on your wrist is actually measuring your deep sleep? The answer is straightforward. Use a sleep tracker, but understand its limitations first. Why does this matter? This slide explains everything. Sleep trackers detect your movement and heart rate. This is called actigraphy. An accelerometer records your body's movement, while a heart rate sensor reads your pulse wave to estimate sleep. But here's a fundamental limitation. Deep sleep and REM sleep are properly determined by PSG, which combines EEG with eye movement tracking, EOG, and muscle activity, EMG. Wrist devices don't have those medical-grade sensors. Compared to medical-grade PSG, sleep stage classification accuracy is roughly 60 to 70%. It's not perfect, but used correctly, it becomes a powerful tool. This is what a decade of wearable technology research has proven. This is not a hypothesis. This is knowledge established by data-driven evidence. And you can start applying this right now. Use your device as a trend tracker, not as a precise measurement instrument. Focus on week-over-week and month-over-month changes, not today's sleep score. This will transform your sleep strategy. Today, let me show you the science behind this. First, let's understand what a sleep tracker is actually doing. This is actigraphy. It means the recording of movement. The basic mechanism is simple. An accelerometer records your body's movement every second. Less movement is classified as sleep. But modern devices go far beyond that. An optical heart rate sensor, called a PPG, reads your pulse wave. The patterns in this waveform provide clues about sleep depth. Higher precision devices also use heart rate variability, HRV. This is the subtle fluctuation in the interval between heartbeats. During deep sleep, your heart rate stabilizes, while REM sleep shows a distinct pattern of variability. Aura, ring, and whoop add respiratory rate and skin temperature on top of that. This is multi-sensor fusion. And in the latest devices, deep learning trained on massive datasets is being adopted, continually evolving toward assessments that approach EEG-based analysis. But don't forget this. True sleep staging requires PSG, which includes not just EEG, but also eye movement tracking, EOG, and muscle activity, EMG. Wrist and ring devices are, at best, an indirect estimate. Here's the core of it. How accurate are sleep trackers, really? In medicine, there's a gold standard for sleep assessment: polysomnography, PSG. It simultaneously records brain activity, EEG, eye movements, EOG, and muscle activity, EMG. It's a precision test that requires spending a night in a hospital. What does a comprehensive review of PSG comparison studies tell us? First, the sensitivity for detecting sleep versus wakefulness, whether you're asleep or awake, is high. However, brief awakenings during sleep are easy to miss. Devices tend to underestimate wakefulness, which means they record total sleep time as longer than it actually is. What about sleep stage classification? The agreement for deep sleep and REM sleep is moderate. It's frequently reported at a kappa coefficient of around 0.4 to 0.6. Overall classification accuracy is roughly 60 to 70%. And which stages get over or underestimated varies by device. It also varies by age, whether a sleep disorder is present, and the generation of the algorithm. It's not as simple as saying deep sleep is always overestimated. This is a tendency that applies to Aura, Ring, Whoop, Fitbit, all of them. Why? Because they're inferring brain activity without an EEG. There's another critical perspective here. Recent research is focusing not just on sleep stage accuracy, but on detecting signs of snoring, breathing disruptions, and sleep apnea, and connecting users to medical evaluation. However, diagnosis requires medical testing like PSG, and devices should be considered as a screening aid only. So why are ring-type devices sometimes said to be more accurate than wrist-type? The answer lies in sensor placement and type. During sleep, multiple physiological changes are happening in the human body. Understanding this is the key to improving accuracy. Let's look at heart rate variability, HRV. During deep sleep, your heart beats with remarkable regularity. HRV decreases and enters a stable state. This is because the parasympathetic nervous system becomes dominant. REM sleep is different. While you're dreaming, your heart rate tends to become irregular. A distinct pattern of variability appears in HRV. Respiratory rate is also a useful signal. During deep sleep, breathing becomes slow and regular. As you approach wakefulness, respiratory rate increases. Body temperature is another signal you can't ignore. Just before entering deep sleep, peripheral body temperature drops slightly. This is also a signal of sleepiness. The fingertips have more blood vessels than the wrist, making it easier to capture a pulse wave signal. That's why ring-type devices have a theoretical advantage. However, some research shows that the latest wrist-type devices like Fitbit are closing the accuracy gap through advances in AI analysis. When choosing a device, focus on both the number of sensors and the quality of the algorithm. And no matter how much the technology advances, remember that it is not a substitute for an EEG. Here, I want you to make an important shift in perspective. The value of a sleep tracker is not the accuracy of its absolute values. Don't trust the precision of a number like 1 hour and 23 minutes of deep sleep. That's an estimate with 60 to 70% accuracy. So what does have value? Relative change trends. Think about it this way. Last night you had a drink late. What does your score look like today? Alcohol can suppress REM sleep in the first half of the night, while the second half may see rebound effects and fragmentation. Your device captures these patterns of change. Even if the absolute value is imprecise, it can detect the tendency that your score shifts on nights when you drink. This is the power of relative tracking. Using the same device consistently produces high reliability. In other words, the same conditions will produce similar results every time. Use this to observe the impact of your lifestyle habits. Look at trends week by week and month by month. Patterns will emerge, like scores going up in weeks you exercise, or deep sleep declining during high-stress periods. And combining this with a sleep diary makes it easier to understand the relationship between your habits and your sleep from both subjective and objective perspectives. If you have concerning symptoms, consider seeking an evaluation from a medical professional. Now I have to talk about a surprising pitfall of sleep trackers. In 2017, an interesting paper was published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine. It introduced a new concept, orthosomnia. What is orthosomnia? It's a sleep disorder triggered by an excessive obsession with perfect sleep. You could also call it a compulsion for correct sleep. Every morning you wake up, and the first thing you do is check your sleep score. My deep sleep was low. I must be performing poorly today. I felt like I slept well, but my score is low. Can I even trust this device? You convince yourself of these things. These beliefs undermine your performance. Then the next night, you go to bed feeling the pressure to get perfect sleep tonight. Cortisol rises, which actually interferes with falling asleep. This is the mechanism of orthosomnia. But there's another side to this. Self-monitoring has the effect of increasing your sense of control over your sleep. When combined with sleep diaries and CBTI-based interventions, improvements in subjective sleep quality have been reported. This is a finding from the Cochrane 2023 and JAMA Network Open 2024 reviews. However, the magnitude of the effect varies across studies. Don't be controlled by the numbers. Use the numbers as your tool. Now let me show you specific ways to get the most out of your sleep tracker. The first practice is to make decisions based on weekly average scores. Don't get caught up in the daily numbers. Instead of today's score, look at how this week's average compares to last week. Day-to-day fluctuations often fall within the margin of error. The second practice is to observe your lifestyle variables alongside your scores. Simple records are enough. Had alcohol last night. Exercised. Had caffeine after 3 p.m. Correlate these with your sleep scores. Within 2 to 4 weeks, your own unique patterns will become clear. The third practice is to ban yourself from checking scores before bed. Check your score after you wake up in the morning. Feeling anxious about tonight's sleep while looking at your sleep score is the entry point to orthosomnia. The fourth practice is to track your subjective sleep quality alongside the data. Just 30 seconds each morning. Rate last night's sleep on a scale of 1 to 10. Then compare this subjective score against your device's data on a weekly basis. Combining both gives you a much clearer picture of how your habits affect your sleep. And when choosing a device, prioritize those with multiple sensors. Devices that integrate HRV, respiratory rate, and body temperature tend to have higher reliability. There's one final thing to remember. A sleep tracker is not a medical device for managing your sleep. It's a compass for understanding your own sleep patterns. If your symptoms are significant, don't forget to consider seeking an evaluation from a medical professional. Now, let's organize the key points from today. Here's today's summary. First, sleep trackers have high sensitivity for detecting sleep versus wakefulness, but sleep stage classification accuracy is roughly 60 to 70%. In particular, brief awakenings are easy to miss, and they tend to record total sleep time as longer than it actually is. Which stages get over or underestimated varies by device and conditions. It's not as simple as saying deep sleep is always overestimated. Multi-sensor devices and advances in AI analysis are improving agreement, but they are not a substitute for EEG. Second, the true value of a sleep tracker is not absolute accuracy, it's tracking relative change trends. Consistently using the same device reveals your unique patterns of how alcohol, exercise, and stress affect your sleep. Making decisions based on weekly averages and correlating them with lifestyle variables makes sleep optimization possible. Third, excessive obsession with your sleep score causes orthosomnia and degrades sleep quality. The most effective strategy is to ban score checking before bed and combine device data with a subjective sleep diary. The right approach is not to be controlled by the numbers, but to use the numbers as a tool for your decision-making. Starting tonight, will you look at trends instead of scores? This week, try tracking your lifestyle habits and observing them alongside your sleep scores. Share your strategy in the comments below. Thanks for investing in your health today. On this channel, we explore the science of optimizing your body through sleep, nutrition, movement, and more. Not trends, evidence. Not emotions, mechanisms. Subscribe and turn on notifications to be the first to get the next evidence-based insight. Your body can be optimized through science. Until next time.